What's going on, Risers? It's Haley McClinney. I am so excited that you clicked on this class, that you're joining us today to really invest in your mental training, one of the biggest components of our sport, but also one of the biggest components of our life. And I'm so excited to share with you something that's really important to me in my life and my discipline, and that's the power of routines. The power of routines. You know, sometimes things can get a little crazy in life, and especially in our sport, you know, we're running all around, going to tournaments and games and practices, and you got school you got to worry about and all of these other different things and elements to your life. And sometimes it can feel like things are getting out of control, getting out of hand. You don't feel like you have a really good handle or grip on things that are going on in your life. And ultimately, routines and habits are the things that we fall back on, whether that's good or whether that's bad. You know, we can have a really good habit of, you wake up at this time every morning and you journal for 15 minutes. That's an awesome habit to get into. You could also have the habit of scrolling on your phone on all of these different social media platforms before you go to bed at night. Probably not the best habit. Probably doesn't let you get all of the sleep that you need to. So we're creatures of habit. We can either have really good habits or really bad habits. And I love this quote that we rise to the level of our dreams, but we fall to the level of our habits. Everybody's got big dreams. Everybody's got big goals. But you have to have habits, big habits, that match up with your dreams if you are ever going to accomplish them. We all have the same amount of time during the day. I think that's an important point to remember. And it's about how we're spending our time. Are we spending our time investing in ourselves or taking away from ourselves? Is this, whatever I'm doing in this current moment, is this habit, is this routine making me better? It's something we all have to deal with every single day. So today I'm going to show you how to build out these routines in your life based on what matters most to you, whether it's softball, family, school, whatever it may be. We're going to decide what matters most to us. We're going to build habits that we can execute on the daily, and then we're going to have the ability to adapt and adjust as we go. But we're going to start with that. I want you to take a second. I want you to grab a journal and grab a pen if you don't have one already. All you overachievers, you're like, I came prepared, Haley. Like, I'm good. I'm settled. Give some time for people like me that are like not prepared, like not ready. Like, I just clicked on this class, like whatever. Grab a journal, grab a pen if you have one. Okay? Let's get started. I want to share with you a few points from one of my favorite authors. His name's Jocko Willink, and his books are transformational. They're extremely motivating, and I have to warn you, if you haven't read his books, you should, but you should know that they're a bit hardcore. Jocko Willink was a Navy SEAL, and if you don't know anything about Navy SEALs are known for extremely strenuous physical work, physical discipline. They have one of the most strict and harsh training regimens out of anyone in the military. But they also go into the most difficult situations and execute to near perfection. They're one of the most disciplined groups, teams that's ever existed in human history. And in Jocko Willink's book, he talks about this idea, and this is the first point that I want you to write down. This thought that discipline equals freedom. Discipline equals freedom. See, we all want and crave freedom. I want to be able to do what I want to do. I want to be able to accomplish what I want to accomplish. I want things to come easy. If we're being honest with ourselves, we all want things to come easy. Hard work is just that, hard. And it's work. We want things to be free and easy. But discipline is what creates that for us. You see, if we don't have discipline around what matters most to us and with what we want to accomplish, we're never going to have the freedom and the space to actually do what we want to do. We have to create structured routines around our priorities to be able to execute and accomplish those big goals and big visions and big dreams. So the first thing that we have to do is really decide what matters most to us. That's the second point. I want you to write that down. Decide what matters most to you. So you can have habits all of you want, but if you don't know what matters most to you, you're really never going to accomplish what you were called to do, what your purpose in this life is. And so I want you to take a second, take a few minutes, take a few moments, pause this class if you need to. Spend some time in reflection, deciding what your 3 top priorities are right now. And I want you to write them down. Your top 3 priorities in your life. What matters most to you right now in this season? For me, I'm going to do this exercise with you. For me, the number 1 priority in my life right now in the season that I'm in is my family. I want to spend time investing in relationships. That's really important to me right now. So I'm going to write that down. My family. My dog's included in this too, by the way. All you dog lovers out there, shout out to you. My second one, I think right now, is my training. I want to make sure that I'm physically fit. Big priority for me, always has been, really, always will be. I want to make sure I'm strong. I want to make sure I'm fast. That's a really big chunk of my priority and where I'm at with my life. So, training for me, physically fit. Write this down. And then my last priority that I really want to invest in this season of my life is coaching. Making sure I'm the best version of myself that I can be for you guys and everyone else that I'm around on the daily. I want to be a really good role model. That's one of my dreams, is really just to be a good role model. And so I'm going to invest in my priority, which is coaching. So I've got family, I've got softball training, and I've got coaching. Those are my top 3 priorities. Maybe for you, could be something different. Maybe you want to be an astronaut. Maybe you want to be the captain of a cruise ship or something crazy like that. Invest. Write that down as a priority. And we're going to go into the next exercise and the next point. After you decide what matters most to you, you've got to figure out what habits are going to help you accomplish those priorities. So you should have written your 3 priorities down already. Now I want you to write 1 habit for each priority. 1 habit that can help you in that area of your life. 1 habit for each priority. I'll start at the top with mine. Mine was family. So what's a habit I can get into? Not being on my phone at the dinner table. Sounds so easy, but it's for some reason, so ridiculously hard to accomplish. But I want that to be a habit in my life. I want to spend time away from my phone so I can invest in face-to-face conversation. Grab your pen, write it down. What's your habit for your first priority? No phone at dinner table. Sorry, not available. I'm cheesy, I'm sorry. All right, my second priority, like I said, was training. I want to have really structured disciplines in this area. So if training's a priority for me, I want to wake up, first thing I do, I want to wake up, I want to get in the gym. I want to beat everybody there. I want to be in my own zone, in my own lane. So a habit I'm going to get into is working out first thing in the morning. No matter what time I have to wake up, I'm going to hold myself accountable to it. I'm going to wake up and work out and train. Sounds easy, difficult to execute. Wake up and get after it. It's literally what I'm writing in my journal right now. I can't wait to show this to people. All right. That's first and second priority. My third priority was coaching. Something that I think that could help me in that area. Let's say 1 chapter a day in a book. Reading is super important. And if I want to continue to invest in people, I need people and thinkers and philosophers and authors to invest in me. And that's what books are given to us to do. And 2, 1 chapter in a day, seems really realistic for me. So, I'd be on my phone, scrolling, all distracted and whatnot. So I think 1 chapter a day is reasonable. So I'm going to write that down. 1 chapter per day. So where are you at? Where are you at right now? Do you have priorities? Do you have habits? Again, if you need to pause this class, by all means do so. catch up a little bit, spend some more time thinking about this if you need to. This is a really, really great exercise for you helping yourself get into a routine and a structure. And the last point when we're talking about building routines is, I want you to write this down as well, just a key point. Adapt and execute. Adapt and execute. Sometimes things are not going to go as planned. I wish I could sit here and tell you, at 8 a.m. I'm going to do this, at 9 a.m. this, at 10 this, and at 2 o'clock this. And it's like all of these, like if one thing goes wrong, the whole thing implodes. We need to make sure that we have the ability to adapt. So when you're writing these habits, when you're writing out these routines of what you want to accomplish, understand it's not going to go as planned all of the time. But we still need to execute on those habits. For example, let's say, one of my habits was reading 1 chapter a day in a book because I want to become a better coach. So I'm going to read 1 chapter a day in a book. Well, if I tell myself I'm going to read 1 chapter at noon, but all of a sudden I have this work call that comes up and things get crazy and I'm hungry and I just want to eat, I don't want to read necessarily right now. Well, guess what? I have to adapt, but I still need to make sure that routine is a priority in my life. So maybe I read before bed. Maybe I read in the morning. Maybe I miss a day. It happens. So I read 2 chapters the next day. If things don't go according to plan at all times, don't panic. Just adapt and execute. Adapt and execute. I hope you guys have taken the time to write all of these thoughts down. I hope this helps you. I hope this encourages you to really just be the best version of yourself. And this goes so much farther than just the softball field. I feel like most of the stuff that was even talked about in this class was all off the field stuff. Reading books and spending time with family. These are all areas that just make us better human beings. And I'm a firm believer that better human beings make better softball players. And the fundamental thing is that routines shape us as human beings. You're going to get out of routine at some point, but always make sure that you fall back on those routines that matter most to you when it comes to executing your goals. Forgive yourself if you miss a day here and there. Give yourself grace. Give yourself space. Remember, the most important thing when we're talking about routines is really just that you don't give up. Persistence is a superpower. Stick it out. Keep going. Keep growing. Thank you so much again for joining this class. If you liked this, please consider sharing it with friends, with teammates, with coaches. Like I said, I hope it encourages you. Until then, I will see you next time. And remember, your best is always in front of you. Later.